Welcome to Doing Business in Rwanda. I'm your host, Ridhima Shukla. In this episode, we take a look at the home delivery network of Rwanda and the complex web of actors that drive smooth logistics in the sector. Stay tuned. The two-wheel hustle of motor drivers in Rwanda is supplying a cost-effective facility to the rapidly growing network of home delivery services, an offering that has become increasingly popular, especially after COVID.
Before COVID, we never really used home delivery services. But during COVID especially, it's when we started looking at other alternatives as to order.
So I was not really familiar with that kind of service until, someone introduced me to the service, and then I was like, let me try this and see what happens, and it was amazing.
Delivery jobs has helped me to achieve a lot in my life as a youth. I've improved a lot for myself.
When COVID came, now the business of people going to the restaurant to sit and eat, it was like it came to a stand. So after that, now people came to realize, oh, so I can also order from my comfort of my place.
The appetite for home delivery services in East Africa has grown consistently over the last few years, even though demand for the service in the region was one of the lowest in the world to begin with, until the onset of the pandemic. This has led to new trends in the sector and open up new opportunities for the growth of digital startups in a relatively rigid market.
COVID and the lockdowns and everyone who's involved in e-commerce or who does actually any online service get to understand that it was a good boost to actually acquire customers because movement was quite limited, and we've all been in that. But then the trend right after, now that we've stepped out, if I might say we've actually stepped out of COVID, it's a trend that retaining these customers, right? If someone used to order online for probably a daily essential from the groceries or market or anything else, if they don't see a proper value for that, then they won't come back online. But if they see proper value to that, that's where the orders will actually keep on increasing, because people have understood that it's not a premium service, it's a daily need.
This shift in consumer behavior was quickly leveraged by companies like Vuba.
So we launched it in January 2020, right before COVID, right? Managed to keep almost 80% of the staff that we had before. And yeah, we now almost 2 years and a half old. Have managed to add more services and more cities in Rwanda, and then keep the trend as it's going on. Probably compare numbers from when we started up to now. We've probably started with about, in the first month, we're probably doing less than 500 deliveries a whole month, and then now we're doing closer and up to 1,000 deliveries every day. So if you look at that, the growth has really been tremendous in the last 2-3 years.
The backbone of this tremendous leap is the motor rider of Rwanda, the men and women behind quick delivery systems.
What I do as a rider, the office send me an order on the smartphone, I confirm, then I go to the merchant where I pick my orders, then I do the step when I get an order and go to serve the customer with the location they have given me. So when I get there, I press the second step that shows that I've already reached to the customer, and that time I call the customer. That's what we do.
The jobs generated by delivery apps has uplifted several citizens out of poverty, enabling them to lead better lives.
I joined the company when my kids were, one was in senior 1 and 2 in senior 2. So you can imagine how much money I was paying per term. But they have now completed their senior 6, the 3 of them. and all the school fees, I earned the school fees from this Vuba company.
So for this delivery job, I can compare with the life before other jobs I had. It's so nice. So for per day, I can do 10,000 or more, 220. That's the money I can earn per day. Maybe it depends on the days we had. Maybe we used to be busy, we can do 20 and more. I had my own bike. I live my own life in Kigali. I earn money. I can do my survive.
Before being a delivery guy, I was a simple biker. It was not easy to make a living. Now that I have started doing deliveries in Vuba, I can now afford to buy a new pair of shoes and pants.
High demand is shaping the culture of home deliveries in Rwanda and giving birth to new contenders in the sector.
So we have a couple of competitors in the city. I mean, we're now in Kigali, Musanze and Rubavu. Since 2020 we have about 45 companies doing logistics in Rwanda. Many of them in different ways. Those who have a mobile app are probably closer to 9 or 10, and the rest are still doing this on a sort of digital way, just phone calls and deliver.
Among newcomers is the delivery app Rush Foods, which also happens to be another pandemic startup.
During COVID, it was a bit hard with the curfews, limited to access some areas. That was it. First of all, I had to make sure all our customers, that means people who are in the offices, people who are at home, not having time to cook, I had to make sure I take care of them. That's the first thing.
Loyalty to customers and a sound operational value chain is not enough in the sector to keep a company afloat. Quality control plays a major part in keeping customers.
Only accept partners whom we check on a daily basis if the kitchen is good, their service is good. I check also our delivery guys if the boxes are good, where they carry the food and everything. So right away within 1 hour, it should be there. If the food was not good, have to make a new order. If the food took long, that's on me to check with my riders.
Although the company has come a long way, breaking into a hesitant market wasn't always easy for Rush Foods.
When we were starting, it was a bit hard for us because even to get one download on your app, you need to work hard. So we had to do some marketing first. So far we have around 215 restaurants, 15 supermarkets and 2 shops. The future of Rush Food is good. We are planning to go to outskirts of Kigali first of all, and also go to other neighborhood countries.
The first client trusts you to deliver their pizzas. Trust me, they're going to trust you as well to deliver their medicines, groceries, drinks, or anything. It just takes us as e-commerce players to build trust from our customers. We've sort of diversified our offering to the customers. I think we now have around 400 partners in different sectors that we work in, from restaurant to supermarkets to markets to drinks and smartphones and all these other aspects as well. And this is where we keep on adding more services.
The initial success of Vuba led the company to continually diversify its product portfolio and to build confidence not only among customers but its partners as well.
In our case, we started the business during the COVID time, and when the COVID was there, you remember how things were very tough. People could not get time to come out and get into the restaurants or something. So by that time, we could not get as much as clients as we needed. So when we introduced the online business, really it boomed. It started growing up.
We had our website, and also we were working with Vuba as a newborn company. And after that, we face increase of number of orders and also visibility from the platform of Vuba and other platform we are working with.
While the numbers have improved, the market is still fragmented in Rwanda, and the service is being polished with every fresh order.
So far so good, but also there is there's still a gap to fill because of some of experts. They are the one who are like the current customer we have. Most these are foreigners who are working here in Rwanda, and most of Rwandese are not aware or doesn't have a good reputation about the online services. So they prefer to come and buy from the shop. But we want to raise our bar so that even Rwandese will find their way in purchasing or buying online, because it has a lot of advantages. Yep.
A customer might order, then an order delays in the restaurant. Maybe the rider has delayed to come, or the restaurant is a little bit busy. So you find that the customer, by the time the customer is waiting for the food to be delivered, maybe the customer was expecting to be delivered in around 40-45 minutes. It might delay. When it delays, it raises an eyebrows from the customer. Now, by so doing, when you find it has gone to that extent, you will have to call the customer. You try to convince the customer that, oh, just wait a little bit, and then your food is coming. So that's a challenge, because the customer was expecting in a certain amount of minutes, but now it has gotten late. But when you talk to the customer, you solve everything.
As Rwanda perfects its delivery services, one thing is clear: the demand for the service is only on the rise.
The trend is that it's going to be not only in East Africa or Rwanda, but other trend that is going to be leading the rest of the world for the next decades or centuries as well.
It's very efficient, it's reliable, and you can pretty much trust them because your order can never get lost. The riders hardly get lost, as you have seen. And the customer service is very good.
I was not really familiar with that kind of service until, someone introduced me to the service, and then I was like, let me try this and see what happens, and it was amazing. I mean, on a daily basis, I eat dinner and lunch with Vuba. I believe if it was possible, depending on my line of work, I would be even using it for breakfast.